Hello and welcome to Digi8.com. In this video, we are going to cover the topic on negotiation skills. Now let's start with what are negotiation skills. Negotiation is a procedure by which individuals resolve differences. Agreements or compromises are reached by this method while steering clear of quarrels and discussions. Reasonably, people try to get the best result for their situation or the body they speak for in case of disputes. Effective results are led by the idea of fairness and by pursuing connections and shared benefits. Examples of situations where certain types of negotiations are utilized are the ones related to domestic relationships, government, industrial disputes, international affairs, etc. Moving on to the stages of negotiation. These entail planning, talking over it, making goals clear, negotiation to gain a mutually beneficial outcome, agreeing, and finally executing a plan of action. Let's look at each one of them briefly, starting with planning. The place and time of meeting to discuss issues and who the attendees are need to be decided before commencing a negotiation. Disagreements can be stopped by establishing a restricted time scale. In order to make one's position clear in the stage, all relevant facts relating to the situation need to be known. Planning before talking over the disagreement can avoid wastage of time unnecessarily and steer clear of further disputes. Next, talking over it. In this phase, people's understanding of the circumstances is shared with the rest. Clarifying, listening, and questioning are the primary skills needed during the course of this phase. Taking notes during this phase to document the discussed points and can be helpful in case further clarification is required. It is very easy to listen less but say a lot during disagreement. Therefore, it is very crucial to listen. Each party must get equal chances to put forward their cases. Making goals clear. There is a need to clarify both parties' perceptions, interests, and aims during a discussion. Listing these elements based on priority can be useful. Common ground can be recognized or established, often through such clarifications. In the negotiation process, clarification plays a vital role. Misunderstandings may arise, which could hinder the process of attaining a mutually favorable outcome. Next, negotiating to gain mutually beneficial results. The main focus of this phase is to gain a mutually beneficial result. This involves both parties feeling like their viewpoints have been considered. In addition, both parties feel like they have attained positive results through the negotiation. Mutually beneficial results are generally the best outcomes. That should always be the end goal, even if it is not always feasible through negotiation. Suggestions of other compromises and strategies need to be taken into consideration during this phase. Next, agreeing. Comprehending the point of view and interests of both parties and taking them into consideration can help everyone reach an agreement. To attain an acceptable resolution, it is important for everyone involved in the negotiation to have an open mind. And finally, executing a plan of action. A plan of action has to be decided upon and executed to follow upon the decision made as a result of the agreement. For both parties to be aware of the discussion, agreements need to be made crystal clear. Moving on to benefits of negotiation. First, develops a relationship. Long-term relationships are formed when negotiation skills help arrive at a solution and shift focus on a value and goodwill even after the variation in opinion. Next, disputes in the future are avoided. Since a joint resolution is agreed upon by both parties, the probability of disputes in the future is minimized considerably. Next, provides outstanding solutions. Resolutions to disputes that are not momentary are ensured by good negotiation abilities. Long-term resolutions aim to be aimed since both parties agree upon compromises only when the resolution is acceptable. And finally, develops a background of business success. A setting of business success is developed as good negotiation abilities achieve business goals. The probability of business transactions in the future also increases due to this. And finally, tips to improve your negotiation skills. First, be ready for the negotiation. One must know what they want and how they want to compromise in order to reach a solution before entering the negotiation. Keeping a clear mind and positive attitude towards the negotiation is warranted from both the parties entering into a negotiation. Next, prepare to compromise. Reaching a mutually beneficial agreement is not possible without compromising. One must not let ego hinder the negotiations at their workplace and must be prepared to compromise on the most appropriate terms. Next, establish a time frame. Negotiations without a time frame established may continue for years or months. By establishing a time frame, parties involved in the negotiation are encouraged to compromise within the time frame. Next, provide many solutions. Suppose a dispute can be solved in many ways. In that case, it is reasonable to provide multiple solutions in the initial phases of the negotiation. This increases the chances of parties going with one solution with favorable outcomes and is also time saving. Next, speak confidently. More than being about what a person says, negotiations are about how a person says it. Hence, talking confidently is crucial to convince the other party that one solution being beneficial. Next, learn to acknowledge failures. Arriving at a compromise can be challenging when the requirements of both parties are extremely difficult. Despite failure with respect to the negotiation, one must never take it personally. Instead, one must acknowledge and analyze the negotiation to find ways to build on the efforts. Next, one's weakness must be worked on. Negotiation abilities are always complemented by the ability to resolve problems, listen, persuade, communicate, and plan. Hence, honing this skill is important. Negotiation abilities must be improved by working on weaknesses like not listening to others or not having the skills to persuade people. And finally, rehearse negotiation. Rehearsing one's negotiation is a great way to hone negotiation skills. This can be done by making up mock negotiation situations and rehearsing with friends or family. One's negotiation skills improve as much as they practice. So that's it, folks. This brings an end to the topic on negotiation skills. These are some of the sources and links referred to for the content in the video. Thank you and see you in the next video.